Welcome to the MMA Junkie Rankings Report for February 19th, 2020. My name is John Morgan. Gorgeous George Garcia. He is our rankings chair. And a couple moves this week, including a big one. We're talking all about UFC on ESPN Plus 25. That was in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. That was the big story last week. And, of course, Jan Blachowicz in the main event gets the big win over Corey Anderson. Man, the rematch, he said he felt disrespected. He went out there and got it done in emphatic fashion. And, by the way, got a pretty good challenge at John Jones in the process. And you rewarded him with a very, very big move. He came in the week at number 12. He goes all the way up to number 6, passing over some names like Johnny Walker, Thiago Marreta Santos, Volkan Oezdemir, Glover Teixeira, Alexander Gustafsson, and, of course, Corey Anderson. So a big, big move for this big, big win. George, why did you think this was the right thing to do?
So there's a couple factors here. For one, he beat a high-ranked opponent in Corey Anderson, who deserved his spot at number 6 because he was working off 4 straight wins. And, yeah, he did pass a lot of veterans. But, you know, Guste hasn't been fighting as often. Teixeira, he is on a 3-fight win streak, but he doesn't have that skin of Anderson. In fact, he took a loss to Anderson. Oezdemir, same thing, kind of like 2-2 in his last couple fights. Thiago Santos was the one I was like, oh, boy, how do I look that guy in the eye and say a guy you knocked out is passing you over? Thiago Santos just doesn't have the longevity as a light heavyweight, to tell you the truth. When he came in, you know, took the division by storm, got himself a title fight, split decision with the champ, and hopefully we see him fight again, you know, in high-level fights. He's already proven himself. But, man, Blachowicz he's been punching the clock. He's put in his time. 7-1 in his last 8, like you said, 3 in a row. This win, first round in front of John Jones, it had to be made. That's
crazy, man. It's good for him. I mean, look, it looks like he's on the cusp of a title shot. Maybe next. Maybe he has to wait a little bit, but it looks like he might get a shot to finally challenge for the UFC light heavyweight title.
Yeah.
All right, flyweight division. Ray Borg picks up a win now. We've got him really highly ranked, so there's not necessarily a whole lot of place for him to go anyway. But the thing is, he misses weight again. And I hate to just harp on the guy and pick on him, but, I mean, this is his 4th time missing weight, 3rd time at flyweight. I mean, how does this impact the way you look at him in terms of the rankings? Because you left him where he is. I mean, he's getting results, but he's not making weight, right?
He's not making it easy on us, that's for sure. Look, I think this fight, both of their stock, you know, both fighters, was going to go up or down in regards to 125 pounds. Technically, it was a bantamweight fight if you want to look at it that way. But, you know, the flyweight division is in such disarray that right now, if you're ever just going to keep somebody there or give them passes for missing weight, it's now. If it was any other division, that stuff just doesn't fly. We'd have to remove him and either place him in another division if he had the stats to do it, which he doesn't, or he just sits nowhere, you know. But right now, he can actually survive this. I mean, he's got a history in the flyweight division. He's got some credible wins. But, yeah, this next fight is it. This one's the one, and I think by then we'll have a new champion. By then, some of these flyweights will have, you know, wins and losses, and the division will start thriving again. So this is probably the last time we can do something like this.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see if maybe his future ends up being at bantamweight anyway. So
he's got the win over Jussier Formiga. You know, I mean, what can you do? He's kind of like penciled in.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, speaking of the bantamweight division, a new name, Merab Dvalishvili, picked up a big win over Casey Kenny, and you got to reward him, right? I mean, Merab had kind of a weird, rocky start to his UFC run, but now he's on a little winning streak, and he makes his debut.
Correct. Yeah, he actually is going to just take the spot of somebody who was in the honorable mentions in Casey Kenny, and he looked really, really good in doing it. However, you want to be fair and look and just make sure there's not somebody from another card or somebody that's out there that's popping, which Raoni Barcelos, hopefully I didn't butcher his name. He's got a great record. You have to take a look at him. And then Song Yadong, who is technically coming off of a draw, I guess, versus Cody Stamann. You know, you want to take a look at him as well, but they didn't do anything that singled out that they shouldn't be ahead of Dvalishvili, who's now won 3 in a row and, again, beat the ranked guy. So Kenny out and Dvalishvili in.
I like it. Deserving name there with Dvalishvili, man. Keep an eye on him in the future. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Always keep an eye on your dong.
And keep an eye.
All right. The women's side of the sport. Montana De La Rosa at flyweight. Macy Chiasson at bantamweight. They both picked up big wins for them, but not a lot of place for them to go right now.
No, exactly. Macy Chiasson, nice bounce-back win. The Landsberg win hurt her a little bit because otherwise you would have her a little bit further up in the bantamweight rankings. But Landsberg's at 15, you know, and she just took the loss, so we'll leave her at honorable mention. And then Montana De Rosa, hey, respectable record she's got in the UFC. The only problem is she just hasn't beaten those opponents that make you jump up like that, like what just happened with Blachowicz. So we'll just keep an eye on her for now. That loss versus Andrea Lee, who's actually in the honorable mentions, hurts De La Rosa's case.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, listen, it was Jan Blachowicz, man. It was his week. He was the big story, man. Big move for him and big things on the horizon. Busy weekend this weekend. Bellator has a pair of events. UFC's got an event. You got some action over in Japan. You got some LFA. We got fights everywhere. So we'll see how it all impacts the list, and we'll talk about it next week on the Rankings Report.